We're going to start with Coca-Cola. Second quarter profits and revenue came in higher than expected. Coca-Cola raised guidance. The stock is up 5% and hitting a new all-time high. This was really good for Coca-Cola.
Yeah, another good quarter. One thinks of it as a quintessential American brand, and certainly you can look at some of its performance that way. But the thing you've really got to be excited for is the coffee, and that's less U.S. based than foreign. And so, as a global brand, having acquired Costa Coffee, $5 billion acquisition that closed in January, and that looks like that's going to be a potential major growth engine for Coke.
It's interesting because the organic growth for Coca-Cola in this latest quarter was a little bit better than expected, and this is one of those companies that's so big that anytime you can move organic growth 1% higher, 2% higher, something like that, it really helps out, because for a long time, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, a lot of the headlines around these companies has been the acquisitions that they've made, going out to buy growth, and obviously Costa Coffee was a step in that direction. But the organic growth for Coca-Cola was a nice surprise, I thought.
Yeah, plus 6% for the quarter and 5% guidance for the year, up from 4%. That includes a little bit of inflation, so the organic growth still pretty good, and potentially more acquisitions on the way. We'll see. I think that it's not. This was really a really good quarter because it is so big that there aren't major surprises. Typically,
there really shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be, because it's got so many different brands, and they don't move dramatically in short periods of time. So a surprise of this magnitude is about as much as you can hope for.
I think if you're a Coca-Cola shareholder, you're also hoping for a couple more quarters like this, not necessarily, knocking the cover off the ball, but doing a little bit better than expected, because over the last 5 years, if you're a shareholder of Coca-Cola, you've made money, but you're looking at Pepsi and thinking, I'd rather have owned that stock for the last 5 years, because it's basically doubled what Coca-Cola has done. So if Costa Coffee can continue to be a growth story for them, then maybe things are turning in their direction.
Yeah, Coke Zero, I guess, is now had 3 years of double-digit volume growth, and that's a part of the growth story here as well. But, really, how can you compete with coffee when it comes to growth possibilities?
No, you can't. You can't. It's a mistake, too.
Even if you're Coke.
Exactly.
You look and you finally say, what if we got into coffee? If only they'd done this seriously 20-some years ago. But I think that it is, you can look at the Costa acquisition, and it's not well known to people in the U.S., of course, but it's the second largest coffee house in the world. And
in the world? I thought it was just the second largest in Europe.
It is the largest in England, and it is I believe it's the second largest in the world. I mean, it's sort of a distant second, but nevertheless, it's bigger than you think. Is kind of what it comes down to. And now that it's got the power and the capital of Coke behind it, growth in places that it had not yet gotten to in a major way, like China, becomes more of a possibility.